Okay. Now, if you see here, if they will assign you the login module, right? They will assign you the, I'm going one by one actually. So if they will assign you first login module, okay, they will ask you to test it. Okay. And now this JD Williams, now I am giving you the e-commerce website actually, but login is a very basic and very important functionality for all these applications, whether it is a e-commerce, whether it is a banking, insurance, healthcare, whatever it is there. But login is a very basic and important functionality is there. They will ask you to test this login functionality 100 times with multiple set of data every day. What they're asking, test this login functionality. So only three, four steps is there, right? What are the steps is there? First thing is there, pass the URL, pass URL to the browser. Second one, then enter username, sorry, username. Third, enter password, right? Password, PWL, write it. And then fourth, click on
Log.
login, correct? And fifth, you can say they'll, okay, so validations will be there, validation will be there, right? Validation will be there. So these five steps we need to perform every time. Okay, now, so and this username combinations, username password combinations, it can be changed, correct? And they're asking you to test it 100 times, this login functionality, login functionality. Jagdish and Gaurav, please mute it. Okay, now they'll ask you to test it. You think actually every day you are going to office, they're asking, they're giving you the login module because you are very expertise in this login module, and they're asking you to test it, right? So this with this, see, 100 set of the data is there. So every day this 100 set of the data you are taking and you are executing this login functionality 100 times because that application is under development and it is keep changing something, right? Developer is keep changing. So if developer is keep changing 100%, it will be effect to your functionality, right? It may or it may not, right? But if you will see, take an example of yours only. If someone will give you the tested this 100 test cases every day, 100 test cases for 1 month, right? See, anyhow, like if there is a no, like if error will be there, what will happen in that case? Okay, we'll say that like there is a no error. After 5 6 days, you will be very much confident. You'll be very much confident. Okay, so this login functionality, there is a no issue is there. So okay, so you'll start skipping it some test cases, right? You'll start skipping this. Let's say in between, you'll start skipping this five test cases, then 10 test cases because you are getting irritated to work on the same thing, right? And this is very easy also. What you'll do, you'll start skipping, you'll be overconfident. Okay, so 100% this functionality will work because nothing is there in this functionality. You will think like that. You will not think about the business perspective at that time because for the login functionality is very important for the business actually. If you go to the banking and all, login is very important. Okay, you'll start skipping. It means your consistency will not be maintained, right? Consistency will not be maintained if you are doing manual testing. Getting a point? Okay, chalo. Now, second one, this is the one like things I am telling you. Second one, this is the, okay, now, give me a second. Okay, second one, now, you have a 500 test script to execute for JDW, right? But if you are going to one application, see, I'm talking about one applications. If you go to the company for e-commerce, we'll have some domain called as domain, right? Domain. For every domain minimum like a 2000, 3000 test cases should be there, right? Because if I'm talking about the e-commerce, it will not only a JD Williams applications. We'll have the lots of backend applications we are not able to open because that is a backend applications. It will be run in the backend. Let's see if you will see in this particular like JD Williams, right? Now you are seeing this picture, correct? Whatever the picture you are seeing, do you think like the developers will be use these applications to attach this picture in this website only? No, this picture will be uploaded to some backend applications, and from there with using some API that is reflecting here. Okay, so whatever it is there, let's see if I'm going to search something like a jeans, right? If I'm searching jeans here, you'll see the PLP page will come. PLP page means product listing page. So all product will list here. Do you think like that all these products the developers will attach in these applications only? JD Williams, no. So this whatever the product details will be there, that will be available in the product cockpit. Okay, that what the product cockpit will do? It will be store all these informations about the product, right? What are the product, like what are the images is there, what is the product name, everything it will be stored in the product cockpit. Okay, so once that image will be uploaded to the product cockpit and once they will activate, then that product will be reflected to your JD Williams applications. Okay, the same way is there. So whenever we are seeing any promotions kind of things, right? We are seeing something called as like a 30% off, 40% off, something like that. Okay, if you go in the sale, you can see that all are in sale, right? Are in sale. So how this sale is coming? Do you think like that this application directly they are using it and uh, they'll keep it okay? So one text box that is a sale? No, they'll use some other application that is called as a uh, I also forgot what was that name. Yes, Vinita, what was the name? Okay, leave it. Some applications will be there. Okay, that is called as HMC, Hybrid Management Control. Actually, I forgot it. I worked long back on these applications. Okay, Hybrid Management Control is there. So there one threshold will be there, right? So there if you go, you can set the promotions for the product, particular product. Okay, so 50% off, 30% off. Once you set it there, then that will be reflected on your website. That is the like a validations process. You select it, you set it there, validate it here. Okay, so I am talking about the 500 applications, but 500 test cases. But if we'll go in the real time, we'll have the more than 3000 test cases for the one applications, not one applications, one like a project I'm talking about, more than 500 test. Okay, now what is happening in, if you'll go in the company, think and understand properly. Okay, what will happen whenever you go to the company, we'll have the release process. Okay, we'll have the release process. Let's see, this applications is already developed, right? This applications is already developed, and now they are trying to add some more functionality here. What functionality they are trying to add it here? Something. Okay, let's see. They are going to introduce here for holiday sale. Okay, they are going to introduce one more tab, holiday sale. Okay, holiday sale. Now, once they will, what that is called as a, see, they will introduce new functionality means, it means it is called as a, they will enhance their applications. Okay, so see, once they will change their application, something, some code, they will change it. That changes, it may reflect to the other existing code also. Am I right? Okay, so if they will introduce some new changes in your application, that changes, it may reflect to your existing functionality also. So because of this reason only, they are testing all this functionality again whenever any new release will come. So when the new release is coming, so when some functionality got added or some, see, there's the two things is there. The first one will be new functionality, new functionality, and second one will be there bug fixing, bug fixing. And who is doing this? Developer is doing this. Developer is doing this. Correct? Developer is doing this. Now for both cases, if they will add the new functionality, 100% they have to write the new code. Am I right? New code. And this new code, it may reflect to or it may affect your existing functionality. It may affect, I'm talking about it. I'm not like 100% confident it will be effect. It may affect. Right. If some developer will fix the bug. Okay, if you found some bug, if you raise the bug, then developer will fix that bug. And for bug fixing also, they will change the code only, right? Change the code. Whenever it will be come to the code part, and if something they will do it in with the code part, 100% that code changes. It may affect to the existing functionality, right? So now there's the two things is there. Okay, so there is a sprint will be there. Okay, so if you remember that whatever that in manual testing, Amar has explained you about the sprint, right? So if you go in the company, a sprint will be there for the 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It depends actually which company you are working. Okay, 3 weeks will be there, 4 weeks will be there, 2 weeks will be there. Okay, it depends. And every week, every 3 weeks, one release will be there. Okay, that release, so that release, it may contains the new functionality. Okay, that is called as a ER enhancements request. Enhancement request means if some customer they will request to the company JD Williams. Okay, so if we'll add this, it will be good for the customer. If someone will suggest it, then what it will be do? They will add that functionality. That is called as a enhancement request, ER. Okay, enhancement request. So if some ER will be there, and in that release, some bug also it will be fixed, right? Bug also it will be fixed. So what it will be do? It will be fix that, or it will be implemented this new ER and the bug, and they will release that new versions of your applications, new versions of your applications. So let's see whatever I am working now. I'm working now. That is a PSM kind of application. That is a cloud type of application. Okay, so now tomorrow one release is going to happen. That is nothing but 23.13, sorry, 13501, something like that. Okay, so this will contain some ER as well as some bug fixes also. Correct. So when this release will come to us means tester, what it will be start doing? So some test engineer they will assign with the ER enhancement request means they will see that is a new functionality. For the new functionality, they will write the new test cases for that. Okay, so they will execute the new test cases, and as well as they will execute all these regression test cases. Regression means what? Existing test cases will be there. Okay, old functionality they will change it, they will check it. Okay, and if the bug fix will be there, so bug they will check it whether that bug is fixed in this release or not. If it is fixed, they will close that bug. Okay, if the new bug is there, then they will raise the bug and they will fix into the next release. Getting a point? So these things will be there in every 3 weeks. Okay, or every 4 weeks or every 2 weeks. It is based on the project complexity. Okay, now come to the complexity part. Complexity part. Now You have, I'm taking an example of 500 test script only. Okay. Now you are doing manual testing. You don't have the automation experience. Like your team doesn't have the automation experience. Now this 500 test script we are executing in every release as a regression test, and you are adding some more test cases also whenever new enhancement is coming. Now what is happening here? See the release, if any changes will be there, then release will be must. Now let's think. Okay, some release happened. Okay, some release happened, and see, just like this applications, JD Williams applications is live now, correct? This JD Williams application is live now. Now I am using, I am a customer for JD Williams, right? I am a user. Now what will happen? Some critical bug came in this applications. What is happening whenever I am clicking on uh, any link, it is redirecting to something called as a application not found, or something like a server error will be there. Five not found, five not four, five not six. That type of like error is coming. I will explain in the API. You'll get to know that that type of error is coming. That's server error, right? Have you seen that like some applications will have that type of error?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that
Yes,
error
sir.
is coming here. So now see, that is 504 error, 506 error. That is server error will become, and because it is a live applications, say it will not be happen. But I am giving you some rare case. Okay, if rarely that user who is using that website, they are experiencing, okay, some server error is coming, or something is broken, some link is broken on this particular website. Okay, broken means that link is not working at all. What will happen? That is a critical bug. And who has raised this bug? Customer has raised this bug. So you know that like customer, if you'll see in the business, we in India or anywhere, okay, we call as customer is a god, right? So you have to listen to them. So if the customer has raised that request, okay, raised the bug, okay, so this issue we are facing, that all these business like owner, they will concentrate completely on that particular things only. Okay, so now that is a critical for the customer. The immediately the developer will fix it. Immediately means within a hour. If it is show stopper means if the priority and the severity of the bug is one, then you must have to fix that bug immediately. Not you, that is a developer. So if the developer will fix the bug, 100% some code changes will be there. Correct? Some code changes will be there. If the code changes will be there, 100% that will come to you to test it. Correct? There is a showstopper. Showstopper means it is a critical bug is there. Okay, and it will be come to you. Correct? It will be come to you to test it. Now 500 test script is there. Your manager is asking, you have see this 500 test actually it is taking minimum 3 days to test it, because we are three member in the team. Correct? Three member in the team. Now your manager is asking you to execute this 500 test script in overnight, in one night. One night. What you will do? 3 days, and they are giving you only 8 9 hour. 9 hour they are giving you to execute it. How you will do it? How it is possible to execute all these test cases? It is not possible, right? You'll say to your manager, okay, we can't do this, we can't execute this 500 test script in this time period. Okay, then you will come to, then your manager will say, okay, what is the another solutions? Because it is a showstopper, we need to execute all these test cases because tomorrow morning we have to release this one. Okay, release this patch or something called as. Okay, now what you'll say to your manager? Okay, so what we'll do, from this 500 test script, we will we will choose some critical test cases will be there. What not critical, actually we can say some important test cases will be there. Okay, so we'll choose it like from all functionality. But even though from 500, we can't escape all these test cases, right? Because I'm giving you the example of 500. It may be 3000, right? And 3000, how much do you think actually? So it will be minimum 400 test cases left. And that also it is not possible to execute in 9 hours. 9 hours. Then you will ask to your manager, we choose this 500 test script out of 500, we must have to execute to get enough confident for release, correct? Then you'll ask to your manager, we can't do with 3 people, we need more resource, right? You need more resources. Then your manager will say, we don't have the resources who can work in the night, you have to do yourself only. What you have to do, you anyhow, like you have to do it. Okay, anyhow, your manager will say, okay, take 12 hours and do it. So what you will do? You have to do this 400 test script, and that is not even possible also. Then your manager will also sit, your lead will also sit to execute these test cases. Then next morning, once this 400 test cases anyhow will execute it, then next morning, your manager will call everyone, how we can resolve this type of situation. Okay, then one guy will be there who got trained in the automation. They will say that we can resolve this type of situations by using automation. By using automation, what type of situations? One will be there, like if the critical bug will be there, and if you have the less time to execute, then you can go for the automations. And if you need to execute the same test cases n number of the times, then also the automation is required, because manual effort cannot be consistent, correct? Cannot be consistent. It may escape, because we are a human being, right? We may frustrate, we may have lots of tension, right? If you have the tension 100%, like you will be forget to add some, like a critical, like a data into that. Understood my point? Okay, so in that case, you can go for automation. You can go for automations. To automate it, we required some tool. We required some tool. So whatever the what are the tools we have actually in the market? Any tool you can choose, and from there you can from there you can choose it, and you can start working onto that. Okay, so if you see, we have the multiple tool in the market. Okay, so we'll have selenium, we'll have something called as a qtp, tp, or uft. Okay, we have something called as playwright is there, then we have called as a cypress is there, jasmine is there, multiple, like a multiple tools is there in the market. Okay, multiple mocha is there, chai is there. Okay, so you can go for the multiple code concept js something is there, right? So multiple tools is there in the market, automation tool. You will choose this tool, and you can start automating it. But
So
before
Tosca is also a
choosing,
different tool, sir.
sorry,
Tosca.
Tasca,
Yes.
Tosca.
I don't know about that. Maybe it will be. What are the? Can you spell out? Hmm?
TOSCA.
TUS?
CA.
No, I don't know about that.
Okay.
Tosca. Yeah. So it may be like lots of tools is there. Okay, in the market you can use, and you can automate your test cases. But before choosing this tool, you have to think about the resources also. Okay, initially, if you are working some small industry, they will not like think to hire the new people. Okay, they will hire 1 or 2 people who is expertise in automation. They will not hire the multiple people. So before choosing this tool, what they will do, they will think like what are the skill set is there for my team member. Okay. Now, if we have like, let's see, if we have three member in the team and two more member, like three-member team is there, right? And this three-member, they will check it. What are the programming knowledge they have? Okay, everyone will say, okay, so I have Java language. Java, person will say, second person also will say Java, third person also will say Java. Then they will think, okay, so what are the tool is supporting Java uh, programming language? Okay, so Selenium is supporting, Playwright is supporting. Okay, so these two mostly you can use it, but even Playwright also they will not support completely, but Selenium will support it. Okay, then they will think, okay, we'll go with the Selenium. Then whatever the fourth members, they will hire the new people, the expertise Selenium persons. They will go, okay, they will say, okay, the skill set should be Java, Selenium, and whatever the required like tools will be there for the Selenium. They will hire that people with this skill set. Are you getting my point? Once they will hired, okay, they will start automating all these 500 test scripts. See, if you have 500 test script, it is not possible to execute all, right? So see, because of in automations, we'll have some constraint, right? Something you can automate it or something you can't automate it. Okay, now let's see if you have if you are going to if you are automating some application and if that applications required some hardware kind of thing, right? Hardware kind of thing, then you can't automate it that hardware, right? You see the Selenium is working only for the web applications. So if anything is there in the browser, then only the Selenium can automate it. If the browser is interacting with some hardware, that we can't automate it, right? You have to skip the test cases. Okay, from the 500, let's see, 400 test cases, we have decided to automate it. We have decided to automate it. So what will happen using Selenium? We have automated 500 test script, including login functionality also. Okay. Now only 100 test script is there to execute it. Okay, now in this 100 test script, we have now five member or four member is there to execute it. You think like 2 hour, in 2 hour, they will execute all these test cases, right? So total 4 persons, 8 hour will be there. In 8 hour, 100%, 100 script can be executed, right? Total 8 hour. So it means 4 persons is there, 2 hour, this all test script can be executed manually. Now 400, we have done automation. Now think, login functionality, we have automated it. Login functionality, we have automated. Now this login functionality, we need to execute 100 times in a day, every day. Now what we'll do here is we have used Selenium. So simply, we have set all this data. This application should execute 100 types with 100 set of the data. We'll use the data provider and we'll trigger it. So whatever the data you will give, Selenium is not a human. It is a robot. Okay, first thing is there, robot will never, they will never get tired. They will never get frustrated. They don't have emotions, right? They don't have emotions actually. So what they will do, so consistently they will execute 100 test script with 100 set of the data every day without skipping single test cases also. Getting my point? Because if the like if the 100 test script manually we are executing 100%, we may execute. Why? Because sometime what will happen, we'll get tension, we can escape it. Correct? We can escape it. We'll get more confident, overconfident. Okay, 100% this will work because every day we are testing only, why to test again and again. You'll escape it. You'll get overconfident. Right, but the Selenium will not get overconfident. Whatever the instructions you will give it, Selenium will do the same thing. They will not tired, they will not frustrated, they don't have the emotions. So 100% whatever you will say, they will do it. Okay, the first, whatever the drawback was there for the manual things, we have resolved it, right? The next drawback was there. How if we have some time constraint, how we can execute this 400 test script in within 4 5 hours. Okay, so what we can do here with the help of Selenium, we can do it. We have something called as a parallel executions. Parallel executions. This 400 test script, we can ask to your managers. We need five system for automation. Five system for automations. What we'll do here? So now this 400 test script, we can distribute it among all these 500 test script like a 75, 75, 75, 75, and 70, right? 70 or something like that, whatever it is there. Okay, so we can distribute among all these test cases in this uh, computers, and we can execute it. Okay, we can execute it. We say, see, 75 test cases, it is taking 5 hours to execute it. So total, it will take 5 hours only to execute this 400 test script, because 5 hours, this will also take 5 hours, 5 hours, 5 hours, 5 hours, but it is executing parallelly, parallelly. So total, it will take 5 hours only, right? So total, how much time it will take? 5 hours plus 2 hours. Total, it is taking not 5 hours. In this, while executing this test cases, at that time only this we can execute it. So total, it will take 5 hours only to execute all 500 test script. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So now, see, using automation, first thing is there, you can save our time, save time. If you save time, it means you are saving your resource, right? In whatever the time we have saved, in between, that resource can do some other work also. So that can be profited to your company. That will be profited to your company. Correct? Now, next, what will happen? So now, if you have automated it, see, one 400 test script is automated, right? Now, only 100 test script is there to execute manually, and 400 test script is there to execute in automations. Or automations is a single click. Actually, I am saying this, to execute this 400 test script, it will take no time, means 0 hour. How? Because this 400 test script will execute it in night mode. Okay, using Jenkins, what we can do, you can trigger this app, this 400 test script whenever you are leaving your desk, right? So from your job timing is something like a 9 to 5. At the 5, like when you are leaving at 5 p.m., you can trigger this 400 test script in automation mode. Okay, or night mode you call as. Okay, night mode. This 400 script will be executed whole night. Whenever you will come to like next day at 9 a.m., 9 a.m., you can check the result. To checking the result will take 20 30 minutes like that. Okay, so this 500 test script previously it is handled by three people. Now it is required only one people. It is required only one people. Right? Only one candidate is required to handle this 500 test script. Now you think here, so if only one candidate is required to handle this, what will happen? These two resources we can use to some other project, right? So what we have done here, we have saved the cost. Okay, cost saving will be there. Correct? Cost saving will be there. So we can say that we can save the cost of the company. Getting a point? So basic, see, this is the basic like a things is there. So why basically we are going from the manual to automation, manual to automation. Okay, this is the reason, because see, 100% we can't automate everything, and 100% you can't depends on automation. Why I am saying that? Because what will happen? Selenium is just like a tool, right? So it may stop working in any point of time. What you'll do in that case? You have to do manually. There's no other choice, right? Because we need to deliver it. We have to do the manually. So manual effort will never be ended. 100% it will be there. People are saying that okay, so manual will be like a go in sometime. No, it will never go actually. It will go in the bigger company. They will take your interview in like a data structure and all, but they will give you the work in manual testing only. Okay, because they believe on manual testing. Manual testing is more feasible than automation. Why? Because see, what will happen sometime? Let's see, like I'm talking about the 400 SS script. If you are executing in night modes, we don't know, right? In the night mode, some like a your network will go, it will not be there in your system. Then what will happen? So 10 test cases is executed and 11 test cases whenever it is uh, executing, then your current gone. Or let's see the network issue will be there. In that case, what you will do? You can't do anything here, right? You went to your home, no one is there to monitor it. How you will do it in that case? It is not possible, right? And that applications you can't uh, access it in your home network. So you always think manual is also must like important, and automation is also important. Both is important actually. Okay, getting a point. So to do automations, we are using we are using Selenium. Okay, so to choose Selenium, we have some like a uh, we have kept something in the mind, and then we have chooses Selenium. Okay, see, I will take some example of some other tool, and I will tell you why basically Selenium is more feasible than other tools. Let's take an example for QTP. This is QTP, right? Or UFT. So previously, like when the no automation tool was there, UFT, no automation tool was there in the market, only QTP or UFT was there. Okay. Then they have introduced Selenium. Selenium. And who has introduced Selenium? Can anyone tell me who has introduced Selenium? That company name is ThoughtWorks. Okay, ThoughtWorks is there. They have introduced Selenium and they have kept it free. Anyone can use this Selenium. They can go to the internet, they can download all these libraries for this jar, they can add it to the project and they can use it. But instead of this is free. Instead of this, the Selenium is free. But if you are using QTP, you have to pay. So this is a paid tool. This is a free tool. You have to pay to that HP. So QTP vendor is HP. Okay, so this vendor will be ThoughtWorks is the ThoughtWorks, ThoughtWorks. ThoughtWorks is there. Now, after some time, this Selenium tool has like a who has acquired the Google, sorry. Selenium tool later they have acquired by the Selenium tool is acquired by Google. Now Google. Who is the owner of Google now? Sorry, Selenium now? Google is there. Right. So now whatever the enhancement is coming in the Selenium is all done by Google. All done by Google. Okay. Still that QTP tool is there, and who is maintaining this one? HP. So if you want to use HP, that QTP, you must have to pay some amount to HP. If you want to use Selenium, you no need to pay anything to the Google. Now, getting my point. So because of this reason, people has started moving from QTP to Selenium. QTP to Selenium, because see the QTP is also very robust tool is there. Okay, robust tool is there. But why people are moving to the Selenium? Because it is a free tool. The first reason is there. Second reason is there. QTP is working on the Visual Basic actually. Okay, VBS script will be there. VBS script. So QTP supports only VBS script. You can write the automation script for QTP using VBS script only. Okay, or you can use JavaScript little bit, but HP people they have recommended to, so JavaScript also you can use it. Okay, so but HP people they have recommended to use VBS script. Okay, so that's why we can say that QTP we are using with VBS script only. But if you're coming to the Selenium, Selenium is supporting multiple languages. Multiple languages will be there. What are the languages there? Okay, so you can automate the Selenium by using Java, C Sharp, then Python, and next,
Java.
tell me. Then Ruby will be there, RUBY. Ruby is like one. Then PHP will be
Yes.
there. Then Perl will be there. These all multiple languages this Selenium is supporting. But if you're coming to that QTP, only VBS script is supporting. Getting a point? Third one is there. Using Selenium, using Selenium, you can automate your applications in different browser also. Okay, different browser also, like Firefox, Firefox, Chrome. Then I'll give you this point and all. What are the things is supporting the Selenium? Okay, then Internet Explorer will be there. Then Opera will be there. Then Safari will be there, and multiple like WebDriver IO, multiple like it browser is there, which is supported by Selenium. But if you are coming here, this is supporting for Chrome, Firefox, and I. That's it. Getting a point? Now, next, if you're coming here, if you're coming to this Selenium or QTP, see the QTP can automate web application as well as desktop application also, desktop application also. Desktop application also. But if you're coming to Selenium, so this is the only one thing it is lagging by Selenium. Okay, Selenium can work only on web application, web automation part. It cannot, see, Selenium cannot automate desktop application. Okay, cannot automate automate desktop application. TOP, desktop application. This is the only one drawback is there. Getting a point, everything. Okay, so see, it is not like that we can't automate it. We can take the help of some other supporting tool to automate the desktop kind of applications. Desktop kind of applications means, see, in the web browser also will have some part where that applications is interacting with the desktop component. Okay, so to do that type of testing, we can take the help of some supporting tool, that is third party tools will be there, right? That third party tool is called as a auto it. You can use it, you can use Sequely, you can use Vinium also. Vinium also. Okay, that Vinium is nothing but a Selenium only, but yeah, they have not implemented properly. Okay, so we can use all these third party tool to do this kind of thing. But if we compare the overall, Selenium is more feasible than QTP for others. The first big thing is that you no need to pay anything. You no need to pay anything. Directly you can download that required jar or library from that internet and you can start working onto that. Getting my point? Any doubt is there why basically we have to go for Selenium? Hmm? No? Now come to Selenium now and I start writing it also. I hope everyone is clear actually why we have to go for automation. Any doubt is there anyone in this?
Yes, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
Understood, sir.
Everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, now come to Selenium part. So I see we are going to learn Selenium here. What is Selenium? See, let's take an example like what basically you are testing here. Okay, so in JD Williams, what is the basic thing? What we are testing here?
Web elements.
We are testing the functionality of the applications, right? Functionality means what? What is the functionality of this search text box? The functionality is there to search something, to search something, correct? What it will be do? It will be search something, right? If you enter the jeans and if you click on the search text box, what it will be do? It will be go to the PLP page. So it means what is the functionality? It will be search the product. This is our functionality. So basically, in testing, we are checking the functionality. Means we are testing the functionality, correct? For the application. Whatever we are doing manually, you can do with automation also. We can do with automation also. So what we are doing in automations, we are checking the functionality of the applications. We are checking the functionality of the applications. So if we are automating through Selenium, so if someone will ask you what is Selenium, so what we can say? We can say Selenium is a functional automation testing tool. It is a functional automation testing tool. Functional means it will be test the functionality. Jagdish, you can mute. Okay, it will be test the functionality of the application, right? Which is used to automate the test script using any programming language. Any means like whatever the programming language I told you, right? Java, C Sharp, and all. Okay. If someone will ask you what we can say that Selenium, write it. Selenium is a functional automation testing tool. Okay, comma, which is used to automate web application using, or wait, don't write it, which is used to automate the applications against all the browsers, all these browser using any programming language. See, this is for understanding purpose. If you're going for the interview, no one will ask you. Okay, so to understand it. Second one is there, like, okay, this is the first. Second one is there. We can say it is a open source tool. It is a open source tool. Open source tool. Then chalo. See, when they have developed Selenium, like let's how it works when they develop Selenium. See, if any project will be developed, that will be there in the basic stage, right? It will not be like a complete functionality they will develop in you one time, they'll give it to you. No. Slowly, they will develop the first basic functionality, they will release in the market. And based on the market feedback, and they will release the new versions with, okay, by seeing that particular feedback. Okay, so feedback means they will ask, the user will ask you to improve. Okay, so when the next release will come, then they will improve something there, and then they will start working onto that. They will improve and then they will release it, and then the user will start working onto that. Again, the user will think, okay, something is lagging here. We need to, we should have some good functionality. Again, the user will give the feedback. Okay, so based on the feedback, again, they will improve their product and they will release in the market. Like that, it will be happen. So when the Selenium started, When the Selenium started, listen carefully, okay? When the Selenium started, at that time we had only Selenium IDE. We had only Selenium IDE. That versions, first versions for the Selenium was Selenium IDE. Selenium IDE. Okay. Next versions, I'll go one by one here. Okay, so it has some disadvantage. Okay, so what was the use for the Selenium IDE? The use for the Selenium IDE to record and play. Okay, so it was working for the record and play activities. So, and the Selenium IDE is a plugin for Firefox only. So what basically you have to do here? You have to upload, or we have to attach this Selenium IDE plugin to the Firefox. And whatever, so once you will keep this Selenium IDE in record mode, because I'm not going to explain you this part, okay? So whenever you will add the Selenium IDE to the Firefox, if it is a Firefox, I'll open it here. Firefox. So what will happen here? So using the Selenium IDE plugin, you can record the activities what we are performing on the browser. What we are performing on the browser. So whatever the activity you will perform on the browser, let's see. Here, okay. So Selenium ID. Actually, I'm not using, no one is using actually. Maybe they have improved, but we have not never used this one. Selenium IDE tutorials and all is there. You no need to go here, anything. See, open source record and playback test automations for the web applications. It is there. This is your main website here. Okay, so here what we have to do, you have to uh, install the plugin in the Firefox, and you can keep that Selenium IDE in the record mode, and whatever the action you are performing here. Let's see if I'll perform the like JD Williams. Okay, if I'll perform here, if I'll go to the website JD Williams, whatever the activity I am performing, all activity will be recorded by Selenium IDE, because Selenium IDE is a record and playback tool. So what activity I have performed? I have passed the URL, then I have entered the genes there, and then I have went to that PLP page. PLP page. So this is the activity I have performed here. So this activity will be recorded by the Selenium IDE, because Selenium IDE is a record and playback tool, but it is working only for the Firefox. It is working only for Firefox. Okay, it is not working on the other browser actually. So the first disadvantage we got it, because always we are saying that Selenium can automate against all these browsers like a Firefox, Chrome, but Selenium IDE is not working, right? So we can say Selenium IDE is a plugin for Firefox only. Firefox only. Okay, it is used to record the activity which will perform in the Firefox browsers. Activity means we are performing some test cases, we are executing some test cases only. So that will be recorded by the Selenium IDE. Okay, Selenium IDE can work only when the Firefox browser will be in open mode. If it will be closed, it will be not be open, it will be not work. Okay, and you can ask me actually, sir, like what Selenium IDE is recording? It will be record the activity, but what it will be in the form? It will be there in the form of HTML script. In the form of HTML script. That's it. Okay, so we can say the Selenium IDE is a record and playback tool. Oh, and it is a plugin for Firefox only. Getting a point? So you can think actually, if it is a record and playback tool, so whatever the data we have entered here, the same data will be played like next time also. We can change it, but that is difficult actually. But next time, if you want to enter here like a cert, what will happen? That code, whatever the we have recorded, that will not be executed, right? That will not be executed. For that, you have to record another like a script for that. That is not possible, right? So, but thing is here, record and playback means what? Record once, play multiple times. Like whatever the times you want, multiple times means whatever the times you want, you can play it. It's just like your mobile is there. If you want to, if you are recording something in your mobile, right? If you are recording something, then you can record once, and whenever you want, you can listen. Correct. Same thing is that if you're using Selenium IDE, you can record once and play anytime whenever it is required. Getting a point? So see, first thing is there, Selenium ID was working in Firefox only. Okay, that is also fine. We have recorded. We are using Selenium ID because we don't have any other options to do it, right? Now, in Selenium ID, we have automated, let's see, we have recorded 500 test script. We have recorded 500 test script. 500 test script. Now, your client will come and they will ask to, okay, so we have the new enhancement. Once the enhancement will be done, start executing this 500 test script in all these browsers, Firefox, Chrome, IE, as well as Safari. Okay, the client, they don't bother actually. So what tools we are using it, they need only result. Okay. Now, then your manager will again come to you. They will say, okay, this 500 test script we need to execute in Firefox, Chrome, IE, and Safari. Okay. So when it will be sick, Firefox will be happy. Okay, no problem. We have a script, we can execute it. But whenever they will say Chrome, IE, and Safari, again you will be in tension. How will execute this 500 test script? That is the main question, right? How you will do it? Again, you will go to the manager. You will say the same problem actually. Okay, so to avoid this problem, they have introduced the next version of Selenium that is called as a Selenium RC. Selenium RC. RC means it is called as a remote control. RC means it is a remote control. Remote control. Okay, so what was the disadvantage was there? So we can't see, first thing is that this was the record and playback tool and it was working only with the Firefox. So here they have avoided this in Selenium RC. Selenium RC is not a record and playback tool. You can write your script using JavaScript here. Okay, Selenium RC. And once you write that script, you can execute that script in Firefox, Chrome, IE, Safari, whatever the browser you need. But see, I have written the Selenium RC. RC means remote control. Remote control. If something is coming like a remote control, it means it is controlled by someone, right? Now let's see if you have AC in your or TV in your home. Okay, so who is the controller of TV? You are the controller, right? You have the remote. You have the remote. With the help of remote, you can control your TV, right? You can change the mm, channel. You can do multiple things with that particular remote because you are controlling your TV, right? If you have a AC in your home, with the help of remote, you can increase the temperature, you can decrease the temperature, you can on or off. Correct? Means you are controlling your TV as well as your AC also. Correct? So what basically it is happening in Selenium RC, listen carefully, I'll give you this point also. Okay. Now, let's see. I have written, and who is controlling, we'll see that. We have written one script. We're using Selenium RC. Okay, this is the Selenium RC script. RC PT script. And what this script will do? This script will be interacting with the browser's component, right? We are writing this script to automate it. Means like whatever the manual executions will be there, that we are automating it. This is a JDW and we'll have something called as a search text box, and we'll have something button, and we'll have the multiple things here, right? So Selenium script directly cannot interact with the browser's component. Selenium RC script directly cannot interact with this browser's component. Then how the Selenium RC is interacting? Okay, they will have some middleware. That middleware is called as a RC server, Selenium RC server. Okay, Selenium RC, this browser's component cannot listen this Selenium RC script command directly. So what you have to do, this Selenium, let's see, like I have written some code, okay, pass the browser URL, then enter the genes in the text box, and then click on search button. Then what will happen? So first this command, whatever you are passing, that will be go to the server. Server will the same thing. What we are passing, okay, so I need to pass the browser, or let's say I want to open the Chrome browsers. So the same thing it will be tell to this particular like a Selenium script browser. Okay, so what it will be do? It will be open the browser, and they will say, okay, that we need to pass that JDW browser like a URL. Okay, now same thing. Next, again they will give the control like what we can say.
They will
1
send a
minute.
signal.
Sorry, not signal. Okay, Selenium RC. This is script. What it will be do? It will be give the it will request to this RC, and the RC will give request to this particular applications, and then applications will give the response, and this response to this server, and server will give response to this particular script. The same thing, it is just like a server actually. It is RC cannot interact with this browser's component directly. With the help of Selenium server, they can interact with the browsers. Now think, like we have written 500 test script with Selenium RC script using Selenium RC script. Now see, before let me remove this part. Let me write it properly. Okay, now, so before running this script, 500 test script, we need to start Selenium server. We need to start Selenium server, and think Selenium server is not our product. It is a Google product is there. So 100% server will be there in the Google like a data center. Am I right? Data center, and it is not in India. It is there in the US. Correct. So now what will happen, you will start it. So multiple time what will happen, most of the time when you will start the Selenium server, it will misfire means it will not allow you to start it multiple times. Most of the time it will do. Sometime like, okay, so sometime it will work properly, sometime it will not work properly. Think, okay, you have written the 500 test script, and your manager will say, okay, tomorrow we have the release, or keep this all 500 test script in execution mode in the night. What you will do? You will start the Selenium RC server, and you will start executing this 500 test script in night mode. Night mode. What will happen? Around like 11 p.m. or 12 p.m. 12 p.m. 12 p.m. Some network issue will come, and your Selenium server will stop working. So if your Selenium server will stop working, what will happen? What will happen? The rest of the test cases, test script will not execute it. Rest of the test script means till 11, whatever the script will be executed, it is fine. But after that, whatever the test script is there, it will not execute it. Why? Because Selenium server is stop working. Selenium server is stop working. In that case, what you will do? So tomorrow you'll come and you'll say to your manager, sir, we couldn't execute the test cases, and we have the 10 o'clock release. What we'll do in that case? Everyone will be there in the problem. Hmm? Because it is because we are not able to communicate directly. We are depending on someone, some mediator. So what will happen? So See, this is the disadvantage actually. So lots of like a customer, they have given the feedback to the Google. We are facing this issue. Okay, by seeing this drawback, Selenium they have introduced Selenium WebDriver. Selenium WebDriver. And this is the important, we are going to learn it. Selenium WebDriver. So what the Selenium WebDriver they have done? They have remove everything in the middle. They have not kept anything here. Okay, so Selenium WebDriver script. This is the Selenium WebDriver script now. Okay, this is the Selenium WebDriver script. WebDriver script. The Selenium WebDriver script can interact with this process component directly. So whatever the disadvantage was there in the Selenium RC, it has been resolved in the WebDriver. Understood? So this is Selenium WebDriver. Selenium WebDriver, when the first versions came, it was calling as a Selenium 1. Sorry, Selenium 2. Okay, this was called as a Selenium 1, Selenium RC. Selenium 1. Okay, no, Selenium 2 was there. So when I have started working, at that time I started with Selenium 2. Then the new versions came actually. It came Selenium 3. Then it came Selenium. Now it is Selenium 4. But we are going to use Selenium 3 only. Okay, as of now. Later we'll see what the Selenium 4 also. Getting my point? Now, I'll remove this part. Okay, write it properly. Let me write it properly, okay? Okay, this is Selenium RC was there, and this was called as Selenium 1. This was called as a Selenium 1. Okay, next versions was Selenium WebDriver. Selenium WebDriver. Okay, so Selenium WebDriver has now 3 versions, right? Selenium 2, Selenium 3, and Selenium 4. Okay, now what does Selenium WebDriver will do? Selenium WebDriver can automate the no, you see here in Selenium RC, if you are using it, you can use only JavaScript. But if you are using Selenium WebDriver, you can use all languages, whatever it is there, like Java, C Sharp, Python, Perl, Ruby, all languages you can use it by using Selenium WebDriver. So this drawback has been resolved here. Now, next is now see by using Selenium WebDriver, we can automate the web applications, right? That is true. But at a time, only one browser can be automated. Okay, multiple browsers we can't automate it. Now, let's see. If we have the requirement, okay, so 500 test script is there. That 500 test script I want to execute. I want to execute in Firefox also. Okay, Chrome also, as well as IE also. Okay, and all these things we need to execute it Windows also, Mac also, as well as Linux also. Linux, Linux also. Okay, so what you'll do, this 500 script we have to execute in Firefox, Chrome, and IE on Windows, Mac, and Linux also. So what you can do here, see how much time it will take. You think actually it will take minimum 10 days to execute this 500 script if you are not following the parallel executions. Okay, so they have implemented something supporting tool. Okay, that supporting tool is called as a Selenium Grid. Selenium Grid. With the help of Selenium Grid, we can execute our test cases. Our test cases means Selenium WebDriver test cases parallelly against all these browsers as well as against all these platform also. Okay, so parallel executions we can do like a same test cases will execute in Windows also, Mac also, as well as Linux also parallelly. So whatever time it is taking, like a 4 hour it is taking to execute in Windows, 4 hour it will take it for Mac and Linux also. So total 4 hour it will be complete in all executions in Windows, Mac, as well as the Linux also. So this will be there for the parallel executions. Next we have, see, the Selenium WebDriver cannot work with the mobile applications. Mobile applications, right? Mobile applications. Now, to support that mobile applications, they have introduced some other tool. Okay, that is, we are not going to learn this one, but we should understand. That is called as a Selenium, and it is called as a APM also we can use it. Selenium, no one is using it. APM, like most of the people are using it. It is just like a Selenium only. It is not that much tough. APM. So this Selenium and APM is used to, or see, Selenium means what? So it is used to automate only with Android. Android. Selenium is coming, right? It is not supporting for the Mac. iPhone and all. Okay, so if you're using APM, it will support both Android as well as the APM also. Sorry, Android as well as the iOS also. Understand my point? You do one thing, you write down, draw this diagram, and tomorrow I'll give you the definitions and all. At least you can go and think whatever I explained you and try to start studying that. Okay, how many you are started like revising that revising that manual test cases, or what you can say, manual testing.
Sir, I am not there when the manual testing is done.
Okay, so in the next batch you can join it. I'm talking about the who has already like completed the manual test cases. Prakash was not there.
Yes,
Bharti,
I have
Vinita,
sent the
Mahesh,
videos.
Gaurav.
So I
Sorry.
was there.
So are you practicing, like, or are you revising all these concepts about manual testing? Because that is also important, right? Just now
Yes.
I have given you the example, right? Manual testing is also important. Hmm?
So I will.
Pravalika, Raghavendra, Satish. Don't ignore it. That is important, okay? So from today itself, you can give 2 hours to learn that all this manual testing concept. And I think everyone has that PDF, right? Manual testing PDF, right?
Yes, sir, we have.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if
No,
you
sir.
have, if okay, you have Prakash.
No, sir. I don't. I
Okay,
have
so
only recording videos.
okay, can you do one thing, like if anyone has, send it to me, I'll send it to that Prakash and Jagdish, like, and Spandana, like who don't have the PDF. You can start like a studying minimum 2 hours every day, because that is most important. We give you the confident actually. What is manual testing? Okay, how the testing is happening. Okay. Any other doubt anyone has? Okay, Mahesh has shared me. I will share this to girls. Don't share in the group. Okay, fine. Yes,
Okay, sir. Sir, can you drop down?
you can drop off, like whoever they want is completed. Let me stop recording. If you completed writing, you can